Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
Clean Up America. From the destitute of any value TV shows to the filthy streets of San Francisco, from the foulness of politics to the promotion of perversion, clean up America. Amen. Good morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith, and God bless America, please. And then followed by a patriot with our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning, good morning. And a big, big thank you. Oh, my goodness sake, Zeb at the ranch, and I'm Zeb Bell with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations, all 7 serving you with the best and safest of tires. Stop in and see them today, along with some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. And then today's the big open house at Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living at 1221 21st Street in Heyburn. Seniors living the good life with friends. Oh, my goodness sakes, let's go to the phone line and have things start off right with our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Well, good morning, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wheels, good to have you on the program with us, and we'll see you at Lunch Bunch. And right now, let's go to the weather. And the weather brought to you by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600, I bit my tongue, 600 west of Heyburn. Ouch! And they're right there on the Burley-Paul Highway. Anything you need for your weed control, your excavators, air compressors, whatever, they've got it. And I urge you, if you're not sure what you need to finish a project, call them. Roger and the crew, they take calls, and they can help you right over the phone with the information you need about the best of tools and equipment from K&R Rental. We'll tell you more right after the weather.
Temperatures for today and a little bit breezy, but we will be warming up again as we make our way towards the weekend. Here's a look at your weather forecast. We are expecting partly to mostly sunny skies with a high right around 77. Winds are picking up out of the west, right around 20 miles an hour, gusts as high as 30 miles an hour. Tonight, everything is going to calm down. Clear skies with a low of 49. Tomorrow, sunny skies, about 82 with an overnight low of 54. Warming up to 90 for Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, looks like sunny skies and low 80s. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zebedee.
Thank you very much, Gina. Wheels, boost the feed line up to me through my headsets, please. Just a touch. And the weather brought to you by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 West of Heyburn. You can't miss them. They're right there on the Burley-Paul Highway. And the number to call, 678-3122, K&R Rental. Right now, let's sell some cattle at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard. Merv May, come on in here.
All right. It gets the steer calves there here to $31, 31, 30.
That's the chant of, I think, the world's best doggone auctioneer, Merv May, over at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Burley. And, of course, sale time today, 11 o'clock, at the sale that works for you at 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, with the telephone number for cattle consignments and sale information, 678-9411. Today, they're expecting the Elison Ranch over to Holbrook, bringing in 30 head of mixed cows and yearlings. They're going to have a lot of butcher cows coming in from Acme Dairy, Antelope Hills Dairy, and I understand from out of the country at Three Creek, Cowboy Country, Chet Brackett's going to be bringing in a bunch of butcher cows. All of this starting at 11 o'clock this morning at the sale that works for you. That's the Burley Livestock Sale Yard in Burley, 678-9411. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, he gets the steer calves there here to $1.31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 130, 550, 135, 1.5, selling $1.35. Zeb Bell gets bottom.
No, my goodness sakes, Merv, we appreciate you. He does a great job. I mean, I can follow that chant, and I wished I could be like Merv. Anyway, calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Well, we have just a minute. We've got a full plate today. All kinds of great people coming on the program. I want to remind you, and Rita will be here later on this morning from Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Number to call, 678-0459. It's not bragging. It's a fact. For all your heating, cooling, and electrical needs, all you need to do is go into Ramsey Heating and Electric and call them, please, if you have questions, 678-0459. They're open 7:30 to 5, Monday through Friday, and they've been serving you for over 6 decades at Ramsey Heating and Electric. You stop in and see them today. Caller, I'll be right there. I've got to tell everybody today is Lunch Bunch Day, and at 11:30, please bring your friends and neighbors, Aunt Martha, Uncle Fred, everybody you know, load them into a van, put them in the back of a pickup truck, whatever. Come on down to Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley, America's Diner. Oh, good food, you better believe it. We're going to have also a lot of door prizes, gift certificates to give away. Walmart, Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, Denny's, and the folks at Greystone Crossing are going to be there, and they're going to give a gift certificate too. You don't want to miss it. And then afterwards, we're all going to go over there. They're going to give us a guided tour. All of this at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley, America's Diner, and we'll be there today for Zeb's Lunch Bunch at 11:30. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb.
Yes, sir.
You know, yesterday morning, you had a guest call you that referred a meerkat to a Democrat.
Uh-huh.
And I know a little bit about meerkats, and I think he was thinking about a mole who can't stand the sight of daylight.
Oh.
On the other hand, a meerkat is a very lovable animal, or rodent, as you would call it. They're very family-oriented. They have a sentinel that keeps a watch over them all day. If one of the young ones die, one of the other adult females take it for their own. They're very family-oriented.
How do you know so much about meerkats?
Well, they had a documentary on that a few years back, and they are the most lovable little rodents you could ever ask.
Let me just inject this into the conversation, my dear friend Keith Cottam. If you are that into meerkats and this is your passion in life, may I suggest that you and Nancy get out more?
Well, that may be the case, but the point I'm trying to make is the meerkats have their eyes wide open, and the moles can't stand the sight of day.
Okay, well, you made your point, but I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned about you. You've been a dear friend for years, and knowing that you have decided to tunnel vision your life into the society and living and care of meerkats, I'm more than concerned about you. And at Lunch Bunch today, I'm going to make sure that you get special treatment.
appreciate that, but I think, you're talking about getting how much? My goodness. You never heard of a meerkat?
I never had, because I really, Keith, I'm going to sound really calloused. I don't care. I mean, that's all I can say.
Well, I'll tell you what. Those meerkats probably are not going to listen to you anymore.
Well, okay. Well, I'll watch the ratings probably dip. Listen, thank you for your call this morning, and we'll see you at Lunch Bunch. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, thank you. I never in my life, and I got to be really honest with you, I don't care, but that's all right. Here a meerkat, there a meerkat, there they all go. I want to remind everybody about Ark Animal Hospital at 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Heyburn. Now, I keep telling you every day that they're a mixed animal practice and they really care about the health of your animals. You should too. I know you do. And when there's a problem, when there's maybe an accident, maybe when there's some kind of sickness or disease, call Ark Animal Hospital. Absolutely. At 678-1177. I'll repeat it slower. 678-1177. As I said, they're located at 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Heyburn. Ark Animal Hospital. Dr. Bill and the crew, they do a phenomenal job. 678-1177, where they have the warm hearts for the cold noses. Calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I have to tell you that I am not in any way, shape, or form in a good mood this morning about comments that were made by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And Deanne, if you get a chance, could you run in here? I left some of the papers on my other desk, if you would, please. This 30-year-old woman, but Alexandria Cortez on my desk there with the Constitution and Dana Perino, etc. If you would find that for me, I'd appreciate that. This 30-year-old woman, absolutely a former bartender, is now arguably the leader and the most influential person of the Democratic Party. And it's very concerning to me with a mouthpiece that she has that is disgusting and disruptive and very dim-witted. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, at 30 years of age. I want you folks out in the audience to think about what you were doing, where you were, and what your life was like at 30 years of age. Think about that, and let me know your thoughts. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has taken the political scene by storm, and she, with her very not thought out, not very bright statements, is being followed right to the edge of the cliff by the Democrats. Now, when she came out and has said that the Green New Deal was the way to go, I mean, we're talking about one of the most stupid garbage campaigns that has ever hit the United States, organized by a 30-year-old girl that never has been anywhere, never has done anything. So, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you, what were you doing at 30 years of age? And tell me how qualified this woman is in the United States House of Representatives. Caller, go ahead, please. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Bell. When I was 30 years old, I was working 2 jobs, raising 3 kids by myself. I like to think that I'm a pretty informed person. And I come from the school of hard knocks. I didn't go to college. But I know what I know. She has no idea how to run a business, let alone be in a place where she's running the country. I shudder every time she's shown on the TV. She's an imbecile. She can't get a whole sentence out.
What does it tell you and I got to be really careful how I word this. You might crawl through the telephone line and strangle me. But as more senior to her, there, I said that very politely, didn't I?
You did.
Okay, as more senior to her, how in the world, tell me this, I am just sitting back in amazement, how a 30-year-old that has never done anything, never been anywhere, never had her own business, never had to write out paychecks, never really has accomplished anything except mixing up maybe a whiskey sour at a bar, how in the world are people dumb enough in the Democratic Party, and they must be, to follow her and back her and support her with her complete idiocy and incompetency to the United States?
You know what, Zeb? I don't know. I don't have that answer. I wouldn't follow her to the dog pound. I don't know why they're giving her so much credit. Like I said, she's never done anything in her life except for maybe mix, like you said, mix up a margarita. Maybe I don't even know if she knows how to do that. But she definitely, her along with the other three women, should not be in any way, shape, or form in our government.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, Donna, and I'm going to stand true to my conviction. When it comes time for their re-election, even though I am thousands of miles away, I'm going to do anything I can to support their being knocked out of office. And that goes for Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Ms. Presley, and this child that has no business being there, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The control over the Democratic Party, not only with the new Green Deal and telling everybody in videos that we're all going to burn up in 10 years and that we have to get rid of animal agriculture and that all farmers have to refine their ways or go out of business, and telling everybody that we can't have our own private cars anymore. And the latest flap with this absolute brainless brunette is the fact that she is denigrating the Electoral College and has no knowledge about how it works.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I totally agree. 3 times in 1 month we agree on things. That's amazing, Zeb.
The sky is falling.
It is. It's starting to rain.
No, but honestly, you and George have been very dedicated to helping our younger people in our society, our area, understand and appreciate the Constitution, understand and appreciate the flag, understand and appreciate the values of being a good American citizen. I highly salute you for this. But yet you have a brainless twit, and she is. And if somebody's offended by the name call, this woman is absolutely destitute of any knowledge, comes out and condemns. And I'm not making this up. I have the verbiage right here in front of me. She was driving down a rural road, and she compared the openness of the rural area to people that don't matter. That's the verbiage. People that don't matter, so we need to get rid of the racist Electoral College. Donna, this woman is absolutely not worthy of having the name or title House of Representatives.
You're totally right. And, she's very dangerous because people are following her. People are listening to what she says. And, those are the uninformed liberals and, some millennials believe in what the Democrats are running on.
Well,
I don't understand.
Think about this. Her philosophy, and it transcends into the majority now of the Democrats that are going, yes, ma'am, we'll follow you. Pick up the flag, Alexandria. We'll follow you right over a cliff. She basically is saying, and she told her social media followers, that people in flyover country, and by the way, we're in flyover country, Donna,
I know.
We don't matter. We don't matter. And then she went on to say that because of the Electoral College, we have too much power. The power should be in the cities of San Francisco, Chicago, New York, etc. This woman is dangerous.
Yes, she is. And, for her to say we don't matter, I'd like to be in a room with her for just a half a second.
Oh, boy.
Tell her how much I'm needed in this country.
But, this isn't just her. There are others like her, and there are others that are followers of her stupidity that tell me this next election, my good Lord, we'd better get to the polls and make sure that these nitwits with the Democratic Party are not elected.
Well, like I said, I totally agree with you. And if we, as Republicans and Americans, if we don't stand up and say, hey, we don't want your kind here, and I'm not being racist when I say that. If somebody takes it that way, so be it.
No, I agree with you, and I'll even kind of chime in with you that America's had a value system. America was founded upon certain principles of morality, right and wrong, and Christian principles. And if people can't adhere to that, and they're going to denigrate you and I for saying that or believing in that, I'm in turn going to turn right around and say in their face, time to get out of Dodge City.
I got you. I'll be right there beside you.
All right, Donna, thank you so much.
You bet.
Appreciate it. Thank you. This woman, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, and Presley, and Tlaib. My gosh. The dissension, the hatred, the stupidity. And they are stupid. But what they're causing is, for some reason, I can't figure it out, grown adults, and I don't consider Ocasio-Cortez to be a grown adult. She's very childish. But they're following her. And they're kind of hooking their wagon to those horses and saying, well, yeah, well, lead on. We'll follow you. This woman is not at all bright. And now, because of her condemnation of the Electoral College and the Democrats in general with Hillary. Oh, well, the Electoral College, they stole the election from me. No, they didn't. The Electoral College, if you'll think back, actually was very supportive of 2 times electing Barack Obama. That's true. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Don't forget Dino's Septic Service. Oh, they do the job that we do not want to do. We don't want to be standing out there and going, oh boy, what a beautiful day. Here I am pumping out a septic tank. No, but they do. They do, and they've offered the best of fast, fare-friendly service. Absolutely, they've expanded their business to better serve more people. You can count on them. Liquid waste removal, sewer and sink drain lines clean, backhoe services, everything with Dino's Septic Service. The number to call, 436-6526 or 678-1638. Dino's Septic Service with that big truck that says, smells cargo on the way to serve you. By the way, this is an ad that I'm going to do right now that, hold on, caller, I'll be right there, I promise. I just absolutely am excited about the great horses that are going to be offered at the Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch production sale for this year, September 7th at the Zollinger Ranch up in Oakley at 11 o'clock. We had Jerry on the phone yesterday with us. I mean, we're talking the best of quarter horse blood right here. We're talking about Playgun, Pepto-Bismol, Bodie-Bismol, Boonsmall, Leo, Shining Spark, Pocotivio. The list goes on and on with bloodlines that are the top of the AQHA, American Quarter Horse Association, quality horses with, most importantly, the best of dispositions. Be there September 7th at Zollinger Ranch in Oakley for their great big production sale on the 7th of September. Don't you miss it. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. At the seniors today, we're having cabbage roll and all of the trimming that should go with that. And tomorrow, we're having pizza roll. I asked what pizza roll is, and they said it's just a piece of pizza rolled up. So that's what it's going to be, I guess.
What an innovative thought.
Call in, we'll have it ready for you. And
I say, what an innovative thought. I mean, the genius that sat down and said, well, let's come up with something new. We'll take a piece of pizza, roll it up, and call it pizza rolls.
That's what they're going to do.
Okay.
It'll be yummy.
Okay, Joe.
Come one, come all.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much at the Senior Center on Overland Avenue in Burley. Joe Taylor, what a great, great guy. We really appreciate him. Calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Fox News, Dana Perino, used to work with the Bush administration. She's weighing in on this stupidity of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And Dana Perino is very, very well educated on the value of our electoral college and what our forefathers wanted to achieve to make this country so that all people had a vote and representation, not just the big cities. And I'm really afraid, more so than ever before in my life, with the lack of education in our schools about the value of America, the Constitution of America, and everything else that America stands for. We're slipping. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Zeb. The only thing Cortez is doing is giving encouragement to subversive organizations like Antifa, and that seems to be her whole job. She's not concentrating on doing anything to improve conditions in the city, relations between people. What she's doing is all subversive.
Well, I'm going to do all I can to completely, every day, denigrate her and the squad that she likes to roam around with, and others like her. We need, you know what I said in the opening this morning? We need to clean up America. And Tony, I really mean those words that I mentioned this morning, that we have to start cleaning up America. We are creating our own cesspool, and we've got to clean it up and get rid of the vile and the filth.
Well, you know, these American young boys, young men that were against Antifa, they're being programmed or talked to like they're a bunch of right-wing subversives.
Yeah.
And this is where things are going. They can't, anybody in this country that wants to do something good is against the Democratic Party, and they get slammed.
Absolutely. I just, when I hear of anything that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says, my skin starts to itch and the back of my neck, the hair stands up, because she is absolutely so void of any smarts or intelligence. And it's these kind of people that we need to weed out. And you know something else? I'll say this. And I want to get your thoughts quickly. I throw a lot of the blame on our own Congressman Mike Simpson for not speaking out about the stupidity that's being spewed by another House of Representative, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
You're absolutely right there, but there's one other thing, too. You get people like Cortez runs in neighborhoods that are filled with people just like her.
Yeah.
That's how these people get elected.
I agree. Again, Tony, go give Mary a big kiss. Tell her I said hello, and God bless you. Thank you so much.
Well, she's right here, so I'm going to relay that message.
All right. Lovely lady. Thank you very much, Tony. Appreciate it. Caller number 2, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hello again. You know, this Cortez, I've never seen anybody in Congress quite like her. She can get on the air anytime she wants to. They welcome her with open arms. And this spineless congressional thing, and Mike Simpson is certainly included in that, why don't they censor her?
Well, let me ask you, have you heard anything? Have you heard or read anything? And if you have, send it to me or whatever, because I'll certainly apologize on the air. But our United States Congressman Mike Simpson, to me, is just going along to get along. And I think he should be speaking out about the un-American and stupid remarks that other House members are making. Let me read to you quickly one of the paragraphs about what Ocasio-Cortez said about our our Electoral College. She said, quote, "The Electoral College has a racial injustice breakdown. Due to severe racial disparities in certain states, the Electoral College effectively weighs white voters over voters of color as opposed to a one-person, one-vote system where all our votes are counted equally." What a bunch of BS.
I agree with you there. In the Electoral College, at one time I kind of leaned towards the popular vote.
Oh, no.
But I have learned since that it doesn't make any sense, because states like Idaho, Wyoming, North Dakota, places like that are sparsely populated, would not have any voice at all.
That's exactly the whole point, Keith. This woman that is 30 years old and not as bright as a burned-out light bulb is trying to transition all the power to the cities and the populated areas, and the rest of us be damned.
I just don't understand how people can sit there and listen to her. I mean, is she that captivating when she speaks? I
cannot tell you that I have an answer for that. I honestly, this woman is shocking to me, that she has this kind of pull, this kind of leverage, this kind of power, this kind of a mystifying grouping that she can take and lead people right to the edge of the cliff, and that's what she's doing.
Yeah, we're forced. We don't have any choice of what they put on the news, but these reporters, as they call themselves, they clamor her. They follow her around like a little lamb.
Yeah.
And whatever she says, they take it and run with it. And she is the queen as far as they're...
Well, and they're doing the same, in fairness, to the other members of the so-called squad that I detest. Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and Presley, they also are destitute of any knowledge or appreciation for this country and our Constitution. I want to see them all gone. Keith, I got to run. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
There's one other thing. You're going to see this squad increase. You mark my word.
Well, I can't argue with you. Nor would I. I think that sanity is not readily available in the United States House of Representatives or the Senate. Thank you very much, Keith. Appreciate it. I want to remind you, too, about our friends at Barry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts at 159 West Highway 30 in Burley, 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls, and the Nampa location. You know, here you sit, and you've got jobs to do, you've got work to get done, you've got lifting and digging and pushing and carrying and grading and leveling, and you're going, whoa, I need some heavy equipment. Well, they've got it. They've got all the Doosan wheel loaders and excavators and all the Bobcats, and they've got great leasing, and they've got great financing programs. What are you waiting for? Work with the people that really are the pros. Barry Equipment and Rental, 159 West Highway 30 in Burley, 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls, and the Nampa location. They are waiting right now to serve you. Oh, real quick, before we go further with our illustrious, wish she were gone, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I want to remind you, Joel Bennett and the Bennett Boys Auction Service have got one heck of a good sale. Interesting sale. This Saturday, August 24th, up in Fairfield at 348 Winona Drive in Fairfield. Had a couple of calls yesterday on my cell phone after I'd given this ad after the program, and it's the Roger Paulson auction in Fairfield, and this man devoted his life to collecting electric trains and all the accessories. I mean, he's got like 101 locomotives, 82 diesels, 19 steam engines, whole 352 cars, and all the accessories. I mean, if you're into this, you don't want to miss it. Roger Paulson Auction, 11 o'clock Saturday morning, this Saturday, August 24th, up in Fairfield. Look for the signs of the Bennett Boys Auction Service. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, yep, they sell them all. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. How many of you have ever sat down with your kids when they come home from school and asked them questions about what's being taught or not taught about our Constitution, or about our Electoral College, or anything about politics that maybe they are listening to and perhaps perceiving that's evil within the United States? You see, when they get off the bus and they come home, you as a parent, I think, should be very, very liable in disseminating the information and saying, little Johnny, wait a minute. If anybody's telling you this, it's not correct. There's a lot of misinformation by liberal school teachers that don't like this country. And parents have got to be more involved in their children's education. When people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a little punk bartender, can be elected as a representative to the United States and denigrate, demean, and damn anything that has been good for this country for over 200 years, there's a problem in River City, let me tell you. And Dana Perino, God bless her for standing up against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And she said very poignantly that people like Cortez want the cities to be in charge all across the country. They don't want to have to persuade and use argumentation to say why their policy prescriptions would be better. The founders knew what they were doing, the founders of our country, when they set it up. We are a republic, and here's the key, we have states' rights. And the Democrats, with the likes of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, are trying to take those rights away. Does it bother you? Are you concerned? I am. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. America is changing. Not for the better. And I'll go back to what I said a little bit ago. It needs a cleaning up. We need a big dust pan and a mop and a broom. If you don't think so, you and I are going to argue. I said earlier this morning, the destitute of any value TV shows, turn on prime time. Go through the network shows from 7 until 10. And really take a notepad and write down the garbage. The absolute insult to your intelligence garbage that's put on television for your family. And then look at the other aspects of what's going on. Cities like San Francisco, L.A., Chicago, New York, all these major cities going to hell in a handbasket with filth and crime. Think about it. It is time to clean up America. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. I have an interesting thought. How do we find out about where she got her facts and her education? And then the other thing is, there should be an alarm to parents. Now, if you as a parent, I used to help my boys, and I know what they were learning. They need to take time to be aware of what their kids are learning. And she's the new shining object in that part of the world. And she's young and she's vibrant. No, she must know so. But I'd like to see what her academic rating was in school. She just had to have missed a lot of her when we go into junior and senior high, the classes that we had to take.
Well, the social studies, social studies and all that, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, well, and I think at Minico we had a government, that's what it was called, government class, and that was for a year. And I think that our kids are not getting the lesson.
Why is it, Chris, and I got a weather forecast, I wish I could talk to you longer, but why is it that our Constitution and all of our attributes that have been afforded us by blood, sweat, and tears by our forefathers and the values of this country are not really worthy of the time anymore in the school system? To me, it should be primary, not secondary.
Well, no. When I was in school, when we were in the 5th grade, we started to have lessons about, what our country is run like. And then I think in junior high had another time, and then before we graduated from high school we had to have, government. No, I think our teachers are not very smart in a lot of cases.
Well, it's not that they're not smart. I'm not going to say that they are not smart, but I'm going to say that they have been indoctrinated into a leftist liberal slant that is affecting our school system. I've got to do a weather forecast, but Chris, God bless you for your thoughts this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Caller, I am going to ask your patience because I've got to get this on or Zeb's going to be in trouble. I've got to get a weather forecast on. Stay right there. Don't go away. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. They care about the medical treatment of your hearing health. And let me tell you, there are many causes of hearing loss. And I urge you that if you've noticed a diminishment in your hearing, don't wait. Don't hesitate. Call for an appointment today. They're right behind the Minidoka Hospital, across from the emergency room, serving you, and that number is 312-0957. 312-0957, Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Cooler temperatures for today and a little bit breezy, but we will be warming up again as we make our way towards the weekend. Here's a look at your weather forecast. We are expecting partly to mostly sunny skies with a high right around 77. Winds are picking up out of the west, right around 20 miles an hour, gusts as high as 30 miles an hour. Tonight, everything is going to calm down. Clear skies with a low of 49. Tomorrow, sunny skies, about 82 with an overnight low of 54. Warming up to 90 for Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, looks like sunny skies and low 80s. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zebby Durant.
Thank you very much, and brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, and the number to call, 312-0957. If you're missing certain things in life that you can't hear, you better call today. Make an appointment for a hearing screening at 312-0957. Caller, I'll be right there. Stand by. Don't forget, too, the Magic Valley Stampede is right around the corner at the Twin Falls County Fair and Rodeo this year. Don't you forget it. And the Magic Valley Stampede is one of the top 60 professional rodeos in the country and now part of the PRCA Pro Tour Series. That means the big boys, the good boys, the excellent ones are going to be there August 29th, 30th, and 31st. Tickets are available now at www.twinfallscountyfair.com. Don't miss it. Rodeo action at its best with the best at the Magic Valley Stampede, August 29, 30, and 31 at the Twin Falls County Fair. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir.
My friend.
Hey, when I was 30 years old, what I can remember of it, I made a lot of mistakes, and I've learned from them. And that's why we need to teach history, true history, to our children so they know what mistakes we have made and not make them again.
Well, Doug, when you studied and understood the Constitution and how the senators, why we have the senator system the way it is in this country, if that's good verbiage, I don't know, our House of Representatives, etc., our forefathers, when you sit down and take a copy of We the People, the Constitution of the United States. And let's just say you don't want to read it all at once. You want to tear it apart. You want to study it day by day, each section or the amendments, whatever the case might be. Think about how smart and how far-reaching they could look into the future as to how it would affect the United States of America. And then we let a 30-year-old bartender try to throw it under the bus?
Exactly. You take our forefathers and their thought and what they could, how they put that together, it had to be divine intervention. It just had, I mean, yes, they were smart people and they were knowledgeable, but they were definitely over 30 years old and had some experience in life. But they lived under some things that they did not want us to live under. Thus, they put it in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights like they did.
Okay, but now let's just kind of go from the elderly statesmen and women that are in the House. Let's talk about perhaps Nancy Pelosi. Let's talk about Chuck Schumer. Let's talk about others of their ilk. Why? Why in the world would you pay attention to a 30-year-old that doesn't know Khmer from Sikkim?
Exactly. I'd like to see that 30-year-old take the same civics test that a newcomer who is wanting to become a U.S. citizen has to pass before they can become a U.S. citizen.
I just guess, Doug, I don't understand how people can abdicate power to someone that is stupid, and she is stupid. I mean, coming out and saying that the Electoral College is racist, coming out with the new Green Deal that denigrates and damns farmers and absolutely destroys people's lives, and the Democratic Party is following her like lemmings over a cliff?
Exactly. It's a sad deal, but you're giving her a lot of credit thinking she come up with this. She is bought and paid for. She got that position. Somebody bought and paid for that position, and she is their puppet.
But wait a minute. Stop right there. Maybe I'm giving her too much credit for even having a semblance of common sense. But then what about the rest of us in America? Why are we putting up with this?
We shouldn't. We should not put up with this. And that Omar and Tlaib, they should be run out of Washington on a rail. I mean, the Democrat Party used to be the Communist Party or Socialist Party, but they kept it under wraps. They didn't put it out wear it on their shirt sleeve. Now it's out in the wide open. And if we vote Democrat this next election cycle, what you're wanting to do is say, I don't like America no more. I do not want the freedom I have. I want to change it. I want to become Venezuela.
Yeah, okay, wait a minute. Stop there for a minute. You bring up an excellent point. I just don't understand how people in this country, and evidently it's almost 45% that have been polled, hate America. Oh, America's evil. America's bad. Oh, shame on America. What in the world is the matter with the greatest country in the world? Doug Martin sitting on the other end of a phone line right now. We're talking in a free society about how we can clean up America. This is the greatest country ever. Where are you going to do this? In Venezuela? Are you going to do this in Russia? Are you going to do this over in any other country? Iran? Iraq? No! And yet these people aren't smart enough to realize what we have.
Exactly. I suggest everybody go to that D'Souza's, he had a documentary on what the world would look like without America.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very eye-opening. You think about it. We have promoted freedom. We have sent our youth to die on foreign soils to help people from communism, tyranny, and Nazism. I mean, any other country has not sacrificed their population like America has to protect the world. And if there's one out there that has done more than America has, and you can prove it, I will I will say, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Doug, I've got to run, but every day I'm committing myself, for as long as I'm still on this program, that I'm going to fight stupidity and evil in politics. And right now, at the top of the pile, evil is being personified by people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Right. And can I give you a quote for the day?
Real quick.
Never approach a bull from the front, a horse from the rear, or an idiot from any direction.
I like it. Thank you, my friend.
God bless. Everybody, let's do what we can for seniors, and I have 2 special prizes to give away today at Lunch Bunch.
Okay, buddy, we're looking forward to seeing you. Thank you very much.
God bless.
Holy cow, I got to run real quick and tell everybody about our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations are geared up every day to serve you with the best of safe driving tires, many of which they've got rebates on, too. Stop in and check it out. And along with all the different tires, the tread designs, the sizes, they can help any vehicle and your camp trailers, horse trailers, boat trailers, everything. They've got the best in brake service with highly trained brake technicians. And, of course, don't forget this, front-end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries. It's all there at all 7 locations. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Pole Line in Twin Falls, and Trent on Overland and Burley. The best, no doubt, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Gonna run to the news. Be back in 7. Wheels, take it away. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Kind of a unique day in the middle of warm days. We ended up with this kind of cool outside. What's the temperature outside? Let me take a look here real quick. And I have right here at the ranch 65 currently, as a matter of fact. Welcome to Zeb at the Ranch. I'm Zeb Bell with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you with the best of safe driving tires. And don't forget some of our great advertisers, including Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. And hey, today's the big day for the open house starting at about 12:30 at Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living at 1221 21st Street in Hayburn. I urge you to stop by, say howdy. Seniors living the good life with friends. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we also want to acknowledge, I'm going to tell you, this is really a passion of mine to talk about good horses, and Jerry Zollinger and Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch have some of the best anywhere, anytime. They're going to have their 31st annual production sales September 7th, and it's going to start at 11 o'clock on that date at the ranch at 1994 South, 100 East of Oakley. And the best of conformation, disposition, and performance horses available. You better be there. I'll guarantee you're going to enjoy the sale and the quality of horses at Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch Production Sale coming up September 7th at 11 o'clock at the ranch in Oakley. Don't miss it. Also, real quick, I want to acknowledge our dear friend, and that's, of course, Joel Heward at Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert. Number to call for information on the pre-planning of funerals, and we all should do that for the benefit of our families. 436-5636. That number again, 436-5636. And at Hanson Mortuary, they always provide the families they serve with the best possible support and comfort, and always upholding the highest ethical standards with unquestioned integrity. Please call today, 436-5636, Hanson Mortuary. And Joel Heward also serving you and your family at Morris and Payne Funeral Home on East Main in Burley. Right now, it is time for the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce report with the president and CEO, Penny Main, and here she is with a list of things as long as the Dead Sea Scrolls. Here she is.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Good. Yeah, so today, gee whiz, we've been busy. I was just in a meeting yesterday with Southern Idaho Tourism, and we were kind of giving a wrap-up of everything that happened here this summer. And my goodness, we made it through all of it, from county fairs to the Spudman to, of course, the Burley Regatta and the Magic Valley Folk Festival. And, all of those events happen in about a 6-week time frame, all of them together at the same time. So we're no worse for the wear, but we sure had a fun summer. Things are winding down a little bit now in the visitor center as, people kind of ramp down their travel. But we had a great summer there, too, Zeb. There were lots of folks, and I know we've talked about that a handful of times already, but it really is a critical point for a lot of folks who are traveling to and from, to gain information, stop by, take a break, and kind of discover what's going on in this area. So it was a great summer to be able to meet new people and really discover how many folks are interested in this area. So, that's a good thing. Today we're having our Business After Hours event. At least we're keeping our fingers crossed. We're supposed to get out on the water today about 4:30 along with Idaho Water Sports and kind of have a little get-together, after summer get-together with all of our chamber members from 4:30 to 7 p.m. And I'd like to invite everybody. If the weather does indeed change dramatically, I don't know what it's doing your way, but here I'm looking at the river. It looks a little bit choppy and it's a little bit chilly. So hopefully we'll be able to go ahead and have the event. If not, we'll make sure we let everybody know in time so they can make other plans. But we'd love to have you.
All right. Wait a minute, Penny. I'm going to have to interrupt you because I need to check with Wheels. I believe that we have been off for an Amber Alert. Wheels, quickly, get on the air. Tell me, have we been off the air because of an Amber Alert?
Yeah, but we're back on now.
All right. Penny, many of the verbiage that you had given us over the past little bit, I was just informed that there was an Amber Alert and there was no cut-in, and so I apologize for that. So pick it up and take it away. I am sorry I interrupted, but there was an Amber Alert that was on all the stations.
Yes, and that's far more important than anything I have to say, so don't you worry about anything like that. At any rate, Business After Hours today, 4:30 to 7 p.m. right here on the river at the Hayburn Park, courtesy of Idaho Water Sports. We're going to have some hot dogs and chips and some soda pop, and I'm hoping the weather clears up a bit. If that changes, we'll let you know, likely via Facebook. So do be aware of that. It looks a little choppy out here today, the river, and it's a little chilly, but we're going to go ahead and try to pull this event off this afternoon for chamber members. So hopefully you can stop by, have a hot dog, bring your kids, and take a little ride on the river, assuming the weather cooperates. Our next chamber luncheon, I know we've been talking about this. It's a big one, and I'm hoping maybe you and Deanne can come to one of these one time, Zeb, but we'd love to have you. This is going to be at McCain Foods September 12th. This is an RSVP event as well due to McCain protocols, so we'd love to have you. Again, we'll have some lunch, and then we'll take a tour of the all-new McCain expansion. And if you haven't had the privilege or the opportunity to get inside that building, please take advantage of it this time.
I would like to do that. I really would like to do that, and I'm going to save this litany of things that you've got to talk about, and I'm going to call you on that.
Okay, hon. Yeah, all you have to do is RSVP us, and we would love to have you and Deanne come over. It's really, I had the privilege of going through it in June, and it really is technology and science meeting agriculture. It is absolutely unbelievable, and I had no idea, and I'm sure like you know that plant sits out there west of Burley forever, and it just does what it does day in and day out. But until you really get inside and really see what happens there, it gives you a much greater appreciation for the Idaho farmer, especially those folks who are harvesting potatoes around here, So it's really a great opportunity. A couple of other things, lots of grand openings. We've got new people joining all the time. We're so blessed by that. Some grand openings coming up, and if you're interested in any of these, we can give you the details. All you need to do is just call us. But this month we'll be offering grand openings for Right Physical Therapy of Rupert as they expand their corporation, TNT Nutrition in Burley, and the all-new Hampton Inn, which will be celebrating with a big grand opening, and you're welcome to come to that as well on September 24th. We'll have some more details about the time, et cetera, for that, but we're looking forward to that.
Oh, my goodness. Are you out of air yet, or are you on oxygen resuscitation?
Anyway, a couple more things. While I'm at got it. Again, here's another one that will be great for everyone to attend. Again, this is for chamber members primarily. October 10th, location to be determined, but Congressman Mike Simpson, I know we've been shouting about that for the last 2 or 3 weeks, but, you know, when they can come to town, it's a pretty big deal, and it will give you the opportunity to kind of get an insight of what's going on a more national scope and how it kind of feeds down into right here into Mini-Cassia. So we'll give you more of the details on that. Again, some other events coming up, of course. Habron's second annual Riverton Pumpkin Festival will be held next Saturday, the 28th, 11 to 4. That's a free event right here at the Habron Park. PMT is getting ready to host a lunch and learn opportunity primarily for people in business. Real critical how you can, kind of understand the differences between Wi-Fi and the Internet and how that all works and how it can benefit your business. That will be held the 11th and 12th of September, and you can RSVP to PMT for that. Patriotic Show and Shine, which will be held Friday, September 13th. And Saturday, September 14th. That's going to be a great, great patriotic, God bless America kind of event. You won't want to miss that. So, we've just got a lot going on. So, anyway, if you want to join the chamber, we'd love to have you become members. If you want to know more about what we're doing here, all you have to do is call us at 679-4793. Check out our website, minicasiachamber.com. Or you can like us on Facebook. We'd love to have you like us on Facebook because we're going to be having lots of drawings and giveaways and some great things coming up, primarily probably around the holidays. So you're going to want to become a friend now so you can maybe take advantage of some great things we're looking forward to during the holidays.
All right. The president and CEO of the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce, Penny Main, thank you. Have a wonderful week, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you, Zeb, and don't forget now, September 12th at McCain Foods. I'm looking forward to you guys being there.
All right. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Have a good day. Bye.
Every week, a great report from the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Penny. And right now, I also want to remind you about our friends at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Oh, my! I'm telling you, you're aching and paining. Well, they can help. They can help you get back to being you. As a matter of fact, we're going to be talking about them in just a moment. 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. The number to call, 678-1191. Don't forget, Nick Greenwell and all the top-notch physical therapists are there to serve you with all the different exercises and the hydrotherapy pool to get you back feeling like your old self. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, 678-1191. Real quick, also, I want to remind you about our friends at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. Talked to Jeff yesterday, as a matter of fact. They are right there for you for the beautification and all the luxurious furniture, everything that you need for your home. Oh, my goodness. Stop in at 459 Overland in Burley. Check out all the great carpet buys. Check out all the luxury vinyl planks, the recliners. They've got a whole great big display of recliners. It's all there for your comfort and beautification of your home at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. 459 Overland in Burley. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we are now going to move over to Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation and meet some more of the great people that are serving you.
And at this time, we get a chance to visit with another of the great employees working for you and with you at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. And, of course, they are always trying to help you get back to being you. And with us on the program this morning, Callan Smith from Burley Physical Therapy. Callan, I'll let you, in your own words, describe what do you do at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Zeb. Here at Burley Physical Therapy, I kind of do a number of things. My title's office manager, but you'll see me out on the floor occasionally, working on the back-end accounts, insurance contracts, billing things, kind of a little bit of everything.
You know, Callan, I would imagine today, more so than maybe years previous, that people that have some physical impairments, they're worried. They're really worried about whether their insurance is going to cover their rehab. Is this what you do, and describe how you help these people?
Yeah, definitely. I search benefits online. We have a number of different portals that gives me access to patient information like that. Each plan is different. You have some plans that have a certain dollar amount that they'll go with, visit limits, things like that. For patients, the biggest thing is to know that type of thing as far as what your plan says. Usually we look at deductibles and co-insurance and things like that. We don't think much on therapy, but, you know, if you have a surgery and need some therapy, kind of knowing those benefits gives you a little heads up when you're headed in there. Keeps you informed, I guess, of your plan benefits and things like that.
Kellen, what about the person or the patient that they don't know what they have, they don't know what's available, and maybe they don't have an adequate insurance program? We can't just let them fall through the cracks, can we?
No, we can't. So we offer many different things here. Like I said, we'll check benefits if a patient isn't aware of their plan. Usually we can get reports back before they leave our office that day. If it's uninsured or, some plans even don't have therapy benefits, we've seen that time or two. We offer many in-house options. Definitely want to get the patient better first and foremost. Worrying about the financial side of it can come as they progress. So.
Now, what about limits on coverage? And how would you suggest that patients with insurance policies, do they really need to take the time to sit down with their agent or even amongst the husband and the wife and try to figure out what they have, or do you go through all this?
We can go through all of this here in the office. Like I said, I have portals and things like that. The nice thing anymore, though, is for patients, most of those plans come with patient portals now, so you won't have to sit down with your adjuster really and discuss what your benefits are or things like that. Online technology is expanding and giving you all those different options, but we do all that for you. If you're someone that doesn't like using the internet or familiar with it, we do all that in-house.
Okay. Now, where did you get your training to do all of these very important tasks for Burley Physical Therapy?
So currently I'm going to school to get my healthcare administration degree, but most of it's been trainings. All the insurance companies offer different trainings and things like that, webinars. A lot of computer hours have been spent in here trying to learn the ropes and different things.
I understand from talking to Nick that each employee there at Burley Physical Therapy has been hired because of other attributes, and your other attribute was that you are a duck caller. We'd like to hear that.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have any of my calls here, so I won't be able to perform for you.
That sounded like a dead duck.
That was Nick. Yeah, he was. He didn't tell you how good I was, apparently.
Well, I know that you won some awards, and I know that you were invited to share the nest with a lot of geese and ducks. So I guess you must be very good.
I wasn't too bad. Back in my glory days, I wasn't too bad. Now they got me locked in an office. I don't get outdoors much. I don't hunt as much or anything like that anymore, but that's all right.
If people were to come in for their appointments and they wanted to visit with you about duck calling, I'm sure that you would keep a duck call on your desk.
One of my USBs is actually the shape of a duck call. I might have to start bringing them in, though, just to give a little demonstration from time to time.
Callan, we were being a little bit facetious, but you are a very talented young man. And tell everybody in the audience that you're there to serve, you're there to answer their questions, and if they want to call first, they can talk to you. Tell them how they do that to get the information.
Yeah, definitely. Our office number, we have our website. You can look on there. The phone number is 208-678-1191. If you have any questions, call and ask for Callan. I can kind of help you out with any financial billing, insurance questions. We've moved billing in-house, so now I'm kind of taking over all of that role. So everything's in-house now, and it makes it pretty easy and convenient for the patient. You can understand your benefits. If we need to set up payment plans, we can kind of get stuff structured same day, so you're not leaving here wondering what's going to be coming in the mail or what to expect as far as that goes. So.
Well, Kellen, I'll tell you what, we do a lot of kidding with you, but you're a great young man working and serving the folks that are trying to get help as far as their physical impairments and feel better at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Thank you for what you do, and if you'd hand the phone right now to Nick Greenwell, we'll finish off the interview with him. Thanks, Callan.
All right, appreciate it, Zeb.
All right, thank you. Nick Greenwell, I really appreciate everything you do on behalf of Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, and having Callan on the air is just one more example about the great people that enjoy working at your operation.
I can't believe you didn't get him to do the duck calls, Zeb. I'm really disappointed in him.
Well, we had you in the background, and that was all the nature that we could stand.
I'll tell you what, that was a pretty good call I made as well. I feel like I would have won that competition, maybe.
You know, we've asked everybody on this program why Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. We got about 2 minutes left in this segment. You go ahead and tell us why Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Why should people call you?
You know, I'm going to kind of stay on the same theme as the call and talk a little bit about customer service. One thing that we're super proud of is that we're not some giant corporation, and that everything we do is for folks here in the community, and all of our staff members are from here in the community, and we've grown up here, and we have a true tie to the community and all of its members. We do a lot of community service. We do a lot of volunteer work for both the high schools and sporting programs, as well as some of the pediatric organizations, and a little bit of everything. And so we're super proud of that. We preach that a lot here in the office. All of our staff members are affiliated with some form of local organization, whether it's like I say, a high school or some form of a service group or a church group or something. And so we donate a lot of services to things like that. Customer service is huge. I understand it's a healthcare business, and we're in the business of getting people better. But like I say, it's also a business, and one of the best things that you can do, I think, for any company at any level is provide really good, close customer service and make sure that people have a good understanding of what's happening and good communication. And you know, kind of like the topic today as far as billing, we've done a lot of outreach and asked our patients and even our providers, you know, how can we make our service better? What can we do better for the community? What can we make things easier for our patients? And our biggest complaint really was that it's confusing. Insurance companies and deductibles and all of those levels are kind of confusing. And so the biggest thing that I think we've done lately to help correct that is to bring everything in-house. We used to have an external billing services like many companies do because it's easy. But people were getting frustrated as you can't pick up the phone and call and talk to somebody like right away about your bill and concerns or send an email or anything like that. So if folks have questions about any of that, we have somebody in-house all the time that can either sit down with you across the desk and help you dot the I's and cross the T's and make sense of what's going on and explain things, or pick up the phone or call insurance companies on your behalf or whatever. And so that's a huge thing. We pride ourselves on providing good customer service for our community here and all of our clients. And again, I think that's the biggest thing that we've done lately that's really, really stepped us up. And again, it's not a big corporation. You're not going to get transferred 18 times when you're trying to get those questions answered or sent to 3 different departments or have conflicting information every time you call. So I think that's a big thing of what we provide here locally in a smaller area and a small business like this that really sets us apart.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, excellent people serving you and helping you get back to being you. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. Number to call, 678-1191. Nick, thank you much.
Thank you, Zeb. Appreciate the time. You take care.
Thank you.
Wonderful people over there serving you. Thank you very much. And right now, I also want to talk about some other great folks that are serving you, and that's, of course, Let's Ride. Get outside and enjoy on a four-wheeler or a side-by-side, or still plenty of time to hit the rivers and lakes and the streams. Oh, my goodness, with all the watercraft, they've got it all. They've got it all. Now, listen to this. The 2020 models are coming in right now, and that means you can save a lot of money on the 2019 models at Let's Ride. 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. World. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays, 9 to 4. Get over and enjoy. And they've got a super accessory department and a phenomenal service department to keep you running at Let's Ride. 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World, and it's true, this is where the fun is sold. By the way, too, if you're over in that neck of the woods, call ahead and make an appointment to make sure that you are up to speed on your coverage for you, your family, and your business. Don't forget Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. The best of life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits, all of this and so much more by people that are really, really dedicated to serving you and very devoted to helping you, too. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Now, here's the number to call right now. Write it down, 436-4424. That number again, 436-4424. Today is Lunch Bunch Day, and we're going to be over at Denny's Restaurant at 11:30 this morning, absolutely, at 611 North Overland in Burley, and we've got a lot of door prizes to give away. Come join us at 11:30 today at America's Diner, Denny's Restaurant, Zeb's Lunch Bunch today. Right now, we're going to go to the phone line, and I always look forward to Thursdays and having this wonderful lady on my program. Good morning, Rita Ramsey. How are you?
Good morning. I'm real good. Thank you.
Rita, when all this hubbub started about the cancellation, if you will, of our electoral college by the Democrats, they're using and saying anything they can to get complete control over the American public and really eliminate any voices from the flyover states, etc. What were your thoughts when you heard, and I'm going to be blunt, and if somebody's offended by it, I don't care, this brainless twit that is in the House of Representatives, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
Well, the big part that really concerns me is, and I have to say that I was in that line until a few years back when I started learning about the electoral thing. This isn't taught in the schools. It's not emphasized on how important the electoral college actually is, because it does give the states that don't have very much population still the opportunity to have their voice heard. And the part that's really sad about it is everybody thinks that it's not a big deal, it doesn't matter, as does AOC. And so here they can start making changes, and judges can do this and that and the other without anybody making a big deal about it, saying, hey, wait a minute, you can't do that, you're taking our voice away, do you not know the Constitution? And as long as people don't, sit up and scream and holler and jump around and protest it, it's just going to keep going, and it will be more than 6 days down the road.
Well, and one thing that people overlook and don't even recognize, there wouldn't be a Senate if it wasn't for the Electoral College.
Well, that's absolutely right. And the other part is that, there, an article that I read said that there are 15 states and the District of Columbia have signed a pact promising to give their votes to the winner of the national popular vote. So you've got states back and forth saying, oh, it doesn't really matter, and we're just going to do this and that and the other, instead of going by the way it needs to be done, which gives the people a voice.
I don't like this woman. I don't like her squad of Tlaib and Omar and Presley and herself, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I find them to be evil. I find them to be against the values of the United States of America. I find her in particular, AOC, to be a 30-year-old loudmouth that really has never done anything except 10 bar, never has accomplished anything, and she's leading the Democratic Party over a cliff. Do you think I'm wrong?
No, and that'd be wonderful if she led him over the cliff. That'd be great. However, I call them the four hate sisters, because that's all they're doing, is they're trying to stir up hate wherever they can, and they absolutely, by their actions, are proving to us that they hate America. And I can't believe that you would have Congress people talking this way and their hate against America, and be able to retain their seats in Congress, their constituents ought to look up at them and go, wait a minute, that's not what we all believe. We don't believe that. And hopefully they'll be ousted at the ballot box. But it's just really sad to think that somebody hasn't put a muzzle on them and say, hey, tone down the rhetoric, just stop it. I think that Nancy Pelosi and those guys thought, well, these are young people, and we want to get the young snowflake vote, and they're diverse because of their religion and that kind of thing, and so this will be okay. We'll just kind of let them do their thing, and I think it got so far out of hand that now they're kind of saying, how do we put the genie back in the lamp?
Well, yeah, my concern, and I don't know if you were listening first hour or not, but I thought back to when I was 30 years of age. And I tried to, in my mind, renew some of the circumstances and some of the happenings and everything at 30. And here's a woman that never did anything. She's never been anywhere. She's never accomplished anything. She was a bartender in New York City. And now she has this kind of power, disruptive power, to change and transition and destroy the values of this country. I'm telling you, I'm really concerned.
Well, we ought to be, and I look at the things that I did by the time I was 30, and I'd been in the workforce for 12 full years, full-time working my butt off, just trying to make a living and make a difference, and I'd been serving in the community. I had a couple of kids by then. I was able to have a wide spectrum of things, but the one thing that I did know, and that is that I wasn't that smart and, had a lot of wisdom about me to where I could be shouting about and telling people what in the world, they ought to be doing and everything else. I saw that there was an article that said, she hopes that she can serve people, and she wants to be a servant to the American people and the people in her area, and yet she doesn't even have an actual human that will answer her phone. So it's kind of like, what kind of service does she think she's going to be giving?
I mentioned in the first hour, Rita, and at the opening remarks on my show, that if we all of us, clean up America right now, we're done. I was talking about how destitute our TV shows are. They don't have any value whatsoever. I was talking about the filth, absolute filth in the streets of our cities. I was talking about the foulness of our politics and the promotion of perversion in our schools and society. I don't care what anybody says. We are on the road to hell if we don't clean this mess up.
Well, we are, and the part that's sad is there's just so much. Every turn that you make, there's something that slaps you in the face that says, what in the heck is going on here? I noticed that there was an article this morning that says Rainbow Pride flag replaces POW and MIA flag at a Veterans Memorial Plaza.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's kind of like, okay, so there was one veteran that was really upset about it, said, hey, I was in Vietnam 2 weeks before these two went missing that I know of that were in their county. It's Montgomery County in Maryland. And he said, we're just basically saying nothing matters anymore, to these people. And how can we, this is my words, not his words, how can we ignore what's happened with our military and what our military are doing and that kind of thing if we just ignore them and go forward?
Well, you just played right into what I said in my opening remarks. The promotion of perversion in this country is taking over. And then you look at I know folks down in California that I've talked to on the phone, and they said, Zeb, you have no idea how filthy and how absolutely repulsive these streets in San Francisco are becoming because of the fact that the human excrement and the urine and the dead animals, the dead rats, everything are being swept down in the storm gutters into the rivers and then out into the ocean. And you talk about a pollution problem. Where are the environmentalists over this idiocy?
Well, that's just it. The environmentalists have one message, and that is they want to be in charge and they want to call the shots. And they never scream and holler at anything if it's not on their agenda. They ought to be screaming like crazy. In fact, they ought to organize a number of events where they go to the governor's office, who he wants to be president one day, and start saying, you know what? You need to start right at your level cleaning up some of this stuff and getting things done, and then head right on over to the mayor of San Francisco and say, we're not putting up with this anymore. You're basically letting all of the people who have businesses and who are bringing revenue to this state and this area, whether it's business, whether it's travel, whatever it is, you are keeping all the money out, and pretty soon we are going to be absolutely nothing because you won't do anything about it. They ought to be picketing around Nancy Pelosi's compound and bringing a lot of that right out front where people can see it, because unless the news media says, hey, look what's going on here, nobody knows anything about it, and they won't get any kind of attention if they don't have huge protests.
Well, I guess maybe I'm a little naive on this. I've traveled all over the United States and Canada and foreign countries, been blessed to have seen various other countries and cultures. But really, Rita, why have we let this problem exacerbate itself to the point where it's like this? I mean, where people, human beings, are acting like animals on the streets of a major city or major cities in this country. Where is the law? Where is someone saying, that's it, you're arrested, or take in the great big fire trucks with the hoses and sweep them out of there? We have to take some kind of action, and this mamby-pamby approach is not working.
Well, it isn't, and I think it all comes back down to the one thing, and I've tried to be involved in various different service organizations and active things that go around the community, is people have got to get involved. And when you start seeing something happening, numbers of people need to band together and say, we need to say something, even if it's just a bunch of us going to our county commissioners or our city council or to the governor's office or something like that. Get a little bit of attention and get the ball rolling and get people on board, because as long as we just ignore it and say, everything's okay in my world, I've got money to pay rent and keep the electricity going, and I've got money for fuel for my car, and I can buy groceries, and I'm good, and you blank out what's going on around you, you're going to be in trouble. You've got to start looking at the community and saying, hey, is there some things going on here that we don't like? And if so, band together and go talk to some people who have authority or who we have chosen for that authority to make some changes.
Okay, but Rita, I know we're blessed where we live, and you and I both agree on this, but you look at San Francisco, and everybody goes on the news media. I was listening to MSNBC and CNN the other night. Even though I hate to, I was trying to get a diversification of opinion. And they're always going, oh, those poor homeless people. Oh, they're living on the streets. Or those drug addicts. Or those lazy people that won't get a job. Wait a minute. The last I looked, you can go down any street in USA America, and you're going to see on the marquees, help wanted, help wanted, help wanted, jobs are available. I've lost my sympathy for people that are homeless, because if they want to live in San Francisco, a very high-priced place to live, that's their problem, not mine. They can get up, move out, go find a job in maybe some little town like, let's try Bakersfield, California, or maybe Clovis, California, or get out of the state of California. And if they're drug addicted, then that's their problem also, because of self-responsibility. And if they're just lazy and don't want to work, we should make sure that they only are going to stay there for 30 days and then they're gone.
Well, this has become a real problem, because a lot of those people that are homeless, they aren't mentally with it, and it may be drugs, it may be because they were veterans and they're suffering from some types of, post-traumatic stress syndromes type of things, or lazy drug addiction, just whatever it is. Yes, there's a ton of them out there, But you know what? You have to make some rules and say, no, we can't do that. If they need to take an area, a big area that has some barracks or something, and say, this is where you're going to live, and you stay within these walls, and you can bring your shopping cart and everything else here, but you're not going to be on the streets. We're not going to let you be on the streets. It would make a lot of difference. And it all has to come with the people outrageously saying, you know what, we're not going to put up with this in our town. We got to have some lines and some rules and some regulation, and it has to come from us. It can't come from the federal government. We can't expect the president to take care of this. This has got to be us right here in our little community.
I agree.
To make the rules.
But I listened to an interview the other day of a lady that owned a salon in that area, and it was pathetically sickening. She goes to work in the morning to open the doors, and she has to take a broom and a shovel and a bucket and clean up the human waste going into her store before she can open the door. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely asinine and just absolutely has to stop. This is America. It's not an open pit slum.
Well, it is, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but those business people where they're having issues like this, they need to get together and start either protesting with big signs so they'll get some news media attention, but they've got to go to their city council and say, you know what, this has got to be stopped. We can't do business here. We can't do this. And those city council people should be the ones that are saying, okay, we're going to do this and this and this. And I know it sounds severe when you start saying, well, we're going to kick them off the streets. They are not only homeless, they're now streetless, and what are we going to do with them? But that's the deal. You got to figure out what you're going to do with them, and by just ignoring them, which is what's happening, nothing gets done, and it just gets worse.
But the citizens and the taxpayers, a combination of all store owners, business owners, etc., they're the ones that are absolutely being slapped in the face because of the laxity and the non-responsibility of government to take care of the problem.
Well, they are, and the sad part of it is that is one of the things that we expect and that the founders expected when they said government needs to be involved as little as possible. This is actually one of the things that they're supposed to be involved in, and that is protecting the rights of the citizens. And they're not doing that. They're doing everything else.
Absolutely. I've got to do a weather forecast real quick, and then I'll be back. And I want to talk to you about Miss Nevada. Stand by. Don't forget Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane and Company, providing accounting services to the Mini-Cash area for well over 50 years. They know their business and can help you with yours. Tax return preparation, tax planning, business consulting, retirement planning, all of this and so much more, as they are the professionals serving you. 2 locations in Burley at 1710 Overland Avenue in Burley and 625th Street in Rupert. Don't forget, get a hold of the best. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane and Company. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Cooler temperatures for today and a little bit breezy, but we will be warming up again as we make our way towards the weekend. Here's a look at your weather forecast. We are expecting partly to mostly sunny skies with a high right around 77. Winds are picking up out of the west, right around 20 miles an hour, gusts as high as 30 miles an hour. Tonight, everything is going to calm down. Clear skies with a low of 49. Tomorrow, sunny skies, about 82 with an overnight low of 54. Warming up to 90 for Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, looks like sunny skies and low 80s. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zebedee Ranch.
I urge you to get a hold of Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane and Company, and let them help you, your family, and your business. We've been working with them for many years. They know, and they can help you. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane and Company, with offices in Burley and Rupert. Rita, I'm going to sound very biased on this, but I don't care. It's the way I feel, and I'm going to be open and honest. I think that conservatives, in general, and people that are standing up for conservative values, and also this president, his administration, and what he has accomplished for this country, are under attack, under siege, and are underneath the watchful eye of liberals and Democrats and the evil left that they want to come and try to take care of them or do away with them. This is the case with Miss Nevada. She has been recently stripped of her crown and her title because simply she was a Donald Trump supporter.
Well, the part that's really sad about that is that there should be a lawsuit. If that's really the only thing, and most of the time it is, but people just say, you know what, it's not worth the fight, and they just turn and say, okay, fine, I'll go my merry way. Sometimes you have to get up and just protest what that is, and says, I'll see you in court. I've got reason to believe that you have nothing, no rules that I've not complied with, and sue the britches off of them.
Yeah. According to the stories and the people that I've talked to regarding this Miss Nevada case, others that were in the contest had posted very liberal viewpoints on various and sundry political views for the Democratic Party. Nothing was done, but this lady, Miss Nevada, was wearing a Trump Make America Great Again cap, and they came after her like a cat to a plate of milk.
Well, it's really a sad thing when you can't, do that kind of stuff. This is an election season that we're in, as long as it may be, and I wish it wasn't near as long as it is, but it is what it is, and it's really sad. Do you think that if she would have said that she was supporting Elizabeth Warren or Crazy Grandpa Joe or any of those others in the Democratic Party, that they would have stripped her of it? Most likely not.
No.
Because that's their agenda.
Yep.
They just do not want somebody that's, opposite of what the public, they say the public, it's more the media, their agenda.
Let me ask you, I've got about 3 minutes left here, and I wanted to get into the sad saga of a man that I think is going downhill. I'm not saying this at all to be partisan politics. I'm saying it for what I see and what I hear. And I'm talking about Joe Biden. I think age and father time have caught up with him, his capabilities of being mentally alert, and also the frailty of what he looks like he's lost in the last 6 to 8 months as far as being robust and really with it. What are your thoughts about Joe Biden? I think he's history and going to be toast as far as any possibility of the nomination.
Well, there's still a lot of people who think that he's going to be the one because of the name recognition, and I think there's a possibility of that. I think that he is not totally with it. However, if you look back at all the things that Joe Biden has ever said, nobody accentuated the gaffes that he made, and about every time he spoke, they did. Remember when he was in the White House, they would have him shipped off to Timbuktu, India, someplace to do something because they didn't want him making any kinds of statements or whatever. And it may just be that that's just the way that he is. The thing that's sad is if it's your wife has to say that they got a brain surgeon to clarify and make sure that his brain was okay, that's pretty sad.
Well, not only that, but the man, and I was very blunt yesterday on the program because I can back it up with verifiable facts, and I'm telling the truth, the man's a liar. Even when he was more robust, let's say in his 40s, 50s, and early 60s, he lied about a lot of circumstances in politics that people that had any recording or any videos, etc., they said, wait a minute, Joe, that's not the truth. And then he'd try to cover his tracks again. The man has been known to be a liar, and that's not the kind of a person that we can trust.
Well, he is, just like saying that he has one of the biggest states and and all the blacks and all of this and that and the other, and it's just a big story. He's infamous for that. Nobody's called him out because of the party that he represents, And so it's just really sad that for over 40 years he's got away with it. And he does not, I mean, he is a politician, and he knows that all he has to do is convince a few people and get on the bandwagon, and they can just go their merry way and get wherever they want. I still maintain that if you run for president for 4 times and you haven't got elected, it's time to give up.
Okay, real quick, 1 minute. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Let's take Joe Biden out of the equation. Do you see any of the remaining Democrats that are even worthy of taking the number 1 spot?
No, I really don't. I just absolutely don't. None of them have anything to stand on except we just have to beat Donald Trump. That's all we have to do. We don't have to say what we're going to do or how we're going to do it or how we're going to pay for it. We just have to beat Donald Trump. That's all we have to do.
That's exactly what I think. Rita, look forward to always having you on the program. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
You bet. Rita Ramsey, and she's a real asset to this program. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. As you know, I have been not eating large amounts of food lately and trying to lose a little weight, which I have. But I tell you what, at this time of the day, I get hungry and I'm starving to death. I know some great places to go for you, your family, your friends, your relatives. How about the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley? Oh, all the different flavors of shakes and all the different burgers, the famous Farmer Brown burger. Have you had one of those with the fries and the sauce and a shake? Knock your boots off. Delicious. Stop in and see those really, really good folks today at the AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. Well, how about Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley? What a great place to get together with your friends for your morning coffee. And along with that coffee, have a breakfast burrito, scrambled eggs, bacon and sausage, cheese, onions, tomatoes, and sauce on a tortilla shell. Whoa, what a way to kickstart the day at Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Stop in and see them. How about let's go to two locations of Burgers Etc. 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. They've got the strawberry shakes, and they've got corn dogs and burritos, only $1.39 after 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Oh, yeah, great food. But the people are so nice and so helpful. You're going to love the atmosphere at Burgers Etc. in Rupert and Burley. And last but not least, let's head on over to Steve-O's at 290 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Food made the way you love it. Patios open, music on the weekends, delicious buffalo burgers, cheesy broccoli spuds, delicious cupcakes galore. All of this at Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 west of Hayburn. And those are just a few great places to go if you're hungry and starving to death. Holy moly. Don't forget Lunch Bunch today at 11:30 at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. We will be there. We want you there. And right now we're going to send it over to Wheels. We're going to be back in about 7 minutes. Oh, I love that piano. I love that piano. Good morning, Zeb at the Ranch. And, of course, with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with the best of safe driving tires. Stop in and see them today. And some of our great advertisers, including Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. And, hey, they're going to have an open house this afternoon. Don't forget Greystone Crossing, Independent Senior Living. Open house from about 12:30 to 4. Don't miss it. 1221 21st Street in Hayburn. Seniors living the good life with friends. We're going to be back with Cache County School Days momentarily, but I want to remind you, too, about our friends over at Patterson's. They get there every day, open up the business, and they know they can sit there and wait for you. They are your electronic needs headquarters. Home theater systems, video, surveillance cameras, car stereos, speakers, complete sound systems. Oh, and all the television sets. My goodness sakes, they got Samsung, Sony, Toshiba, LG TVs. Oh, I'm telling you, they are there to serve you, and serve you they do at Patterson's, 421 East Main in Burley. The number to call is 678-6997. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. Patterson's in Burley. Really, really good people. Also, I want to remind you before I get kind of off track here, there's going to be an outstanding auction this Saturday, and it's going to be up in Fairfield. Let me tell you something. If you're a model railroad enthusiast, this is a sale for you. It's the Roger Paulson auction. It's going to be at 11 o'clock this Saturday morning, August 24th, up in Fairfield at 348 Winona Drive. This man has put together over 70 years of collecting all kinds of electric trains and accessories. There's over 101 locomotives, 82 diesels, 19 steam engines. Oh my goodness, and all the accessories. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be fantastic this Saturday, August 24th at 11 o'clock in Fairfield at 348 Winona Drive, and this sale managed by Bennett Boys Auction Service. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, they sell them all. Right now, let's go to the phone line, and it's time for Cassia County School Days, and I've been very, very impressed with all the people that are part of Cassia County School System, and this morning is not going to be an exception because we have with us Declo High School English teacher Casey Heward. Good morning, Casey. How are you?
I'm doing so great. How are you doing?
Just peachy fine this morning, even though it's a little cooler and a little cloudy outside, but it's going to be a great day. I understand that you have a little bit of a notation by your name that you are the Teacher of the Year.
That is true.
Well, tell us about it.
Well, yeah, a couple weeks ago, back in May, actually, my principal, Roland Bott, said I would like to nominate you for this, and I said, well, okay, if you really think so. And about 3 weeks ago, he made the phone call and said, guess what, you're it. And I am still very shocked.
What is or what were the criteria that were used to select you as the Teacher of the Year?
Oh, that's a good question. Some were, what have you done in the classroom? How have you grown as a teacher? What are some challenges that you've faced? And what are some challenging things that teachers are facing today that all teachers are having to overcome? Mm-hmm. And so that's what made it so difficult for me to do as I worked on these questions. I just thought, I am not a Teacher of the Year. There are so many other teachers who are better qualified, but I do go to school every day with best intentions, with my kids on my heart, just trying to do the best I can do.
Absolutely. Okay, now, Casey, I'm going to say some things that might upset you, or you might agree with me, okay? I'm going to say that I think the English language has been shot at and hit and deteriorated and not restored. I think that it's high time we paid more attention to our English language. Would you agree or disagree?
You know, I have to agree. It is becoming more challenging to get kids to speak correctly, let alone write correctly, because, let's be honest, they don't need to do either anymore. It's all on their phones, texting one another. And then, I don't know if it's just part of society, but the desire to do things correctly, like to speak correctly and wanting to speak correctly, is perhaps falling by the wayside a little bit, getting lost by other things.
Why? I mean, I know that's a simplistic question, but why? Why have we let this happen?
I don't know if it's because we have
just a life that is so busy, and we just, and I say we, even though I'm on your side here. I want to fight the good fight. Such busy lifestyles that, what's the big deal if you say ain't, or I don't. That's a bad excuse, but I just think all across the board there's apathy, lack of interest.
You know, in my profession, Casey, I want to say this. I visited with a lot of people across the United States, many of which I went to college with when I majored in communications. And right now, the communications business, per se, the radio, television, etc. industry, they are begging for qualified, good, competent people to get involved, but there just doesn't seem to be a want to get in the communications business, and most of which can't even say 3 words without going, or ain't, or, just sloppy English.
Yeah, I think even now on the phone, I have my own speech teacher in my brain. Like, what would Mrs. Snow be saying about my vocabulary right now? It's nerve-wracking. But, see, I just said, now I'm nervous.
Well, the verbal pauses, though, are natural to some people. It's when they're exacerbated, and you hear it on the news with commentators, etc. There's one in particular, and I think his name is Charlie Hurt, and he, I believe, works for the Washington Post. I could be wrong on that, and he's interviewed quite frequently. He cannot say a sentence of 6 words without going, 27 times.
I wonder if it's because lately people are in such a hurry to just say their opinion on things without putting time and thought into it, which would lead them to an eloquent sentence and an eloquent paragraph of thought. But so many people are just wanting to jump at the person speaking, like, well, here's what I think, and kind of be combatant rather than slow down, listen, gather your thoughts, and respond that way. But it's an impatience thing.
What do you do as an English teacher to help stimulate an interest in the English language and want to make the students do better?
Well, I try to, while I love the classics, and the classics are important to read and understand and to write about, I try to incorporate more contemporary articles, even if it's, this is a silly excuse, but I subscribe to the Range magazine, and I find wonderful articles out of there, and I have another magazine, I will just pull a brief article out, and I try to find things that the kids are interested in, and we read those, and we talk about them, and we critique them as well, because let's be honest, like you mentioned, some of the national folk aren't the best at writing, so we critique that writing. And then when it comes to writing about things, for example, in my first hour today in my junior English class, their assignment last night was I want a half-page description about your refrigerator at home and make it good. And we spent the morning reading. They used, here's a big English word, personification, to describe their refrigerator, made it into a person. And it does sound like such a silly writing assignment, but the creativity that they brought to the table this morning, it was so fun. And they enjoyed it, and I do those things in hopes that they can see that writing isn't all strict and academic, but it leads to that, but it can also be fun.
All right.
Just shape it.
I'm going to put the teacher on the spot. Tell me about your refrigerator.
Oh, gosh. Well, it's about 7 years old and not stainless steel, and it has a few photos of my friends and family, and what else? It's not fancy. It doesn't have the water dispenser or ice dispenser, but it keeps my food cold, and for that I am grateful.
I can give you mine, and I was thinking about it when you were asking that or making that statement. I think my refrigerator is the culmination of my dreams, because in the freezer department it holds the different flavors of ice cream.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. What about your class? I mean, what age students do you teach English?
Yeah, I teach almost every incoming freshman, so all the 9th grade, and that's kind of fun. I whip them into high school shape, and so it's a challenge, but I look forward to it every year because the freshmen are brand new faces. And then I teach about half of the juniors, the 11th graders, and half of that half is a junior dual credit class I teach with CSI.
Okay. Now, when you talk about an English course, and I've only got about 3 minutes left here, but I really find this interesting. Do you go into the actual reading, writing, and giving an impromptu speech if they need to, or tell us some of the parameters that your class involves?
Yeah, it varies. A day might be literature / grammar. So we'll read and then work on some nouns, for example. Other days is more of a writing workshop day. So I will say, you know what, guys, you have 90 minutes, which is our typical class period. In 90 minutes, I'll have them write about something and then prepare them beforehand and say, just be ready to share this. And then, so that gets the speaking skill out there. And then the students listening have to respond, so then that gets that listening skill thrown in there.
I would say, I'd like to interrupt you right there, and pardon me for the rudeness, but you said a writing workshop, and I wanted to get your opinion on something before I run out of time. I have said for a long time that if kids or adults would like to write and really express themselves, don't be worried about all the correctness. Just put your thoughts down and let it fly.
Absolutely. That is the best way. Throw up on the paper, as I say, and then we fine-tune it later.
Oh, man. I wish that I had you as my English teacher in high school. God bless you.
Oh, well, thank you, Zeb. I appreciate you.
Listen, I want to tell you congratulations on becoming the Teacher of the Year, and I hope you have a great 2019 going into 20 high school year at Declo High School as the English teacher, Casey Heward. It's been a real treat to have you on the program. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Nice lady right there. And, that's the one thing about writing. I think people are so concerned about, oh, did I say this right? Or did I put this down on paper? Don't worry about it. Just spill your thoughts onto a piece of paper and let it go. You can always correct it later, but boy, don't minimize or throw in the background your initial thought. That's my own little soapbox. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, I want to talk to you real quick about our friends over at Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living. As I mentioned, they're going to have an open house today from 12:30 to 4. Right after our lunch bunch, we're going to be going over there. As a matter of fact, Kelly and Matt Wiggins are going to be at our lunch bunch, and they have graciously donated a gift certificate. We're going to have that over there. So I urge you to come on over this afternoon from 12:30 to 4 at Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living. And that's, of course, right on El Fresco Road. That's 21st Street, just a mile east of Walmart. Wonderful, wonderful senior living. 3 meals a day, housekeeping, local transportation, all included in the rent. Find out more. Give them a call at 650-4979 or come to the open house this afternoon from 12:30 to 4 at Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living. Right now, let's go and see if Wheels has our next guest ready to go. Wheels, what about it, old buddy, old pal?
Joe's on the phone for you, sir.
You're a good man, McGee. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we're going to go to the phone line and we're going to talk about garbage and we're going to talk about people that can help you get rid of it and everything, and that's Joe over at Western Waste. Hello, Joe. How are you?
Good, Zeb. How are you doing today?
Not too bad. You know, there's so much that you guys are involved in over at Western Waste, and I don't want to minimize anything. I mean, sure, garbage and the pickup of the garbage and the getting rid of the garbage, but boy, there's a lot of other things too. Why don't you give us kind of a thumb sketch of what you do over there?
Okay. Yeah, like you said, we do garbage. We do, portable storage units. If you're wanting to move from one area, you want to store it in on your place. We also do portable toilets for harvest, for your farm. You're having a party. I know the 3-day weekend's coming up here real soon. If you got a big party planned, we can bring out a toilet for you so people aren't walking in your house trying to use the bathroom. We do a little bit of everything.
Joe, just yesterday, I had a gentleman, we were talking about a special event that may be coming up on the horizon, and he had voiced to me that they were very concerned about getting the physically challenged porta potties, if you will, and I recommended that they call you because I'm assuming that you do have those.
Yeah, they're called ADA units. They're wheelchair accessible toilets. We have those. So we can bring those out to people, and, they're nice, big, wide toilets. We put them on a flat space somewhere where you can get a wheelchair. People with wheelchair can wheel right into them and be able to use the facilities. We have quite a few of those. We put them out all the time for fairs and events and all sorts of stuff all over.
I would hate to see your itinerary every day of all the various places you have to go, all the various places you have to serve. How in the world do you keep it all straight?
We just have a great team. I can't thank our employees enough. We wouldn't be anything without our employees. We got 53 families we support now and 53 drivers, and, we're just happy about that. But, yeah, we're busy all the time. I'm actually in a roll-off truck right now getting ready to deliver a box, just helping the guys out.
Let me ask you about this. If somebody moves into the area and they're not sure how to get rid of their garbage, I've been telling them on the air, just call 734-6969 and try to get on the route service. Make it more explanatory. Am I wrong, or did I hit it pretty close?
No, you hit it pretty close. I mean, it's real simple. Just give us a call, like you said, 208-734-6969. Any of the girls can help you out. We'll find out where you live. We'll work with the budget. We'll work with the space requirements. And, if you got a long driveway, we can come down and get your garbage. If it is something super special that you're like, hey, I need to do this, it's the only way it can work, the girls will give me the number, and I'll give them a call. I'll come out to your place and try to find the best solution for you on what type of service, varying from one of our plastic containers to one of our many dumpster sizes we offer. I mean, we have a need. We have a solution to fit anybody's need in the entire Magic Valley.
Now, another thing I wanted to ask you about is what about the storage units?
Yeah, storage is becoming super popular. We have 3 different sizes. We have a 12-foot, a 16-foot, and a 20-foot. They all are the same height and width, which is 8 foot tall, 8 foot wide. They just vary in length. We can bring them out to your place. If you want to store stuff, you don't have enough space, you can store them on site. We can bring them here to Jerome and store them on our site. Or if you're moving, say, from Buell to Burley and you want to live over there, we'll drop one in your driveway. You can put your stuff in it, and we'll move it to your new place and drop it right in your driveway for you.
Well, let's find out a little bit about Joe here real quick before I let you go. How long have you been with Western Waste, and why this business?
I'm actually a third-generation garbage man, Deb. My family got in the business in the late 50s, and I was fortunate enough to become friends with the Molitor family, and they brought me on board as a sales manager 6 years ago, and, this is all I know, and I've been doing it my entire life, and I can't thank them enough for bringing me over, and, this is, what I love to do, and that's why, we love talking trash, and we're family, and, that's why I like doing it. It's a great atmosphere, a great company. Like I said, I want to thank all of our employees, all of our drivers, because, those are the guys that are out there every day doing what it takes to get the business done. We take care of all the little stuff inside, but also want to thank all of our customers, especially in the Minnecaja area, for all the support over the years. And, we're here for the long term, we're here for the future, and we'll take care of you.
Joe, final thought here, but the trash in America, that's big business, trying to figure out what to do with it. Is it a problem that's going to become a bigger problem in the future, or have you, like Western Waste and other companies, have they got a handle on it?
I believe we have a handle on it, Jeb. It's a good question on that. There's a lot of solutions out there for it. Recycling's becoming a big issue, but I know just through the grapevine and some other publications that I follow, there is companies domestically here that are going to start looking into really processing our materials here domestically, and that's kind of the root of the evil is, we were shipping all of our material overseas, and then they were shipping it back to us. Once we get that manufacturing here domestically, it'll solve the big problem of what we got. And, I mean, trash is always going to be here, and we have the solutions. We want to recycle. If we can get the partners behind us to recycle, that'll take care of it.
All right. If anybody has questions, give us the spiel about how they can get on the route service again and become a part of Western Waste team.
Yeah, it's real easy. 208-734-6969. Give us a call. Any of the girls can help you out. If you want to check us out on the web, www.gowesternwaste.com is our website. It's got all the information on there. It's got maps of where we work and everything. You can shoot us an email. I get all those emails, so if anybody has a question, if they send an email through the website, it comes to my desk, and I'll give them a call right away, and we'll take care of it.
Joe, you're a good man. Don't make yourself a stranger. Come back soon.
I will, Zeb. Thank you for all your time, and thank you for your support.
All right, my friend. Thank you. Great folks over there at Western Waste Services. Always at your disposal. Call them at 734-6969. Today is Lunch Bunch Day, and I urge you to come to... Excuse me, I almost bit my lip again. Urge you to come to Lunch Bunch at 11:30 at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. Now, we have a great big gathering with all people from all different backgrounds, all different ages. Come on down. And we're very patriotic. We've got the Pledge of Allegiance, a prayer, and our national anthem. And we just have a lot of door prizes that are going to be provided by Walmart and Smith's Foods, Handsome Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, Denny's, and Greystone Crossing. I urge you to come on down today to Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner at 611 North Overland in Burley, and we'll be there for Zeb's Lunch Bunch at 11:30. Okay? Right now, we're going to send it back over to Wheels. We'll be back in about 3 minutes.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Thank you very much. And once again, Lunch Bunch today at 11:30. Don't miss it. I don't think it's just me that shakes his head and just wonders how dumb we can be in this country, or why we accept such filth and negativity in this country. And you have to shake your head in wonderment and bewilderment as to how certain people attain certain positions, like in this story out of New Mexico with a New Mexico judge. Now listen, I just heard bits and pieces of this morning, and I'm probably going to get all the different articles over the weekend and comment on it again next week. But just about the time that you think there might be some sanity going on in our country and our society, then you get another story like this that proves that we're on the highway to hell. A New Mexico judge, this guy's got to be one of the biggest dimwits that ever put on a black robe, has said that recreational cocaine use is okay. Recreational cocaine use is okay? Right now in America, even in our area and all across the country, opioid addiction and drug addiction is running rampant. Rampant. Perhaps you know people that are involved in that type of addiction. Perhaps you know families that are suffering because of that addiction. And then you have... Maybe you think I'm wrong. Call me and let me know. Then you have this absolutely brainless twit judge say from the bench that, recreational cocaine use is okay. And basically by saying and acknowledging this, opening up the floodgates and saying, come on in, everybody just sit around and have a good time. What kind of lunacy is going on in our legal and our court system? Recreational, explain that one to me, Cocaine use is okay. At the same time that we don't know what we're going to do, we don't know how we're going to treat all the individuals that are literally having their lives stolen from them because of drug addiction. I know I probably sound like an old fogey to some people, but I just don't understand. I throw my hands up in the air and I just go, what in the world is going on? Whatever happened to two words? Common sense. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I heard that story this morning, and I told Deanne, I said, that's it. I mean, just about the time you get to the bottom of the barrel and you're down to the scum, they go lower. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Oh, by the way, this guy is kind of Looney Tunes, too, in my opinion, and that happens to be Julian Castro, that's running for the presidency of the United States on the Democratic ticket. He is coming out with a new, listen to this, animal rights plan. Oh, yeah. He said, quote, our plan to advance animal welfare is not only the right thing to do, but will improve people's lives through responsible pet ownership and a more sustainable agricultural system. Now, that's pretty vague. How is his animal welfare plan going to improve my life unless they come up with a series of rules and regulatory measures that say thou shalt not ride your horse with the saddle because you'll have to tighten the cinch? Oh, that might cause discomfort. What does he mean, improve people's lives through responsible pet ownership? I'm a responsible pet and livestock owner. Absolutely. And I know a heck of a lot more about how to take care of them than Julian Castro. And then what's this about a more sustainable agricultural system? You see the vagueness in what these people that are running for office, they don't really spell it out. They don't dot the I's and cross the T's. And they do that for a reason. They're trying to get a lot of so-called subscribers to animal welfare groups and everything on the hook to support them. And people like you and I that really know how to take care of animals, do it for a living, we're the ones that are going to be subjected to their Looney Tune ways. I read this, and he also said in his proposal that he wants to make sure that there is no more euthanizing of cats and dogs. No more. He can't do away with them at all. No, done. And then he wants to expand protected United States lands to 30% by 2030 with a goal of 50% by 2050. In other words, take more of our public lands away from us. And he also wants to strengthen the Endangered Species Act. And that's something right there, folks. Look out for the Democrats. And he wants to ban the use of federal land for fossil fuel exploration. And also end the import of big game trophies. He wants to curtail hunting. And if you do go hunting overseas, you can't bring your big game trophy back. This is Julian Castro, just one of the wacky Democrats, and that include a series of ambitious policy proposals that probably would change, alter, and minimize the value of livestock and pet owners in the United States. Calls are welcome. Come on, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Caller, good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. Hey, you've got my blood pressure up. I don't know this guy, but I don't like him. But I bet you $100 he supports abortions.
As a matter of fact, I don't have that file right in front of me, but I believe in One of the first debates when he was standing on the Democratic podium, he did advocate abortions and was an advocate of expanding it. So I believe you're right.
Isn't that something? I'll save a damn dog or a cat, but I'll kill a human being.
Yeah.
What kind of people are these?
Well, now that's a ballpark question. I mean, you just opened the gates, and here we are at Yankee Stadium with all the seats empty. What kind of people are these that we even would think that we would give them a vote to run our country? I mean, you've got Castro coming out with his animal rights plan. You've got wild-haired Bernie that's an avowed socialist and communist that wants to change the whole structure of America. You've got Joe Biden that probably would fall asleep during the inauguration. I mean, what kind of people are these?
Wake up, people, and get involved. See what is going on.
It's easy to say that, and I say it every day, but I still see so much of a naive attitude of people that don't listen, don't read, don't care, and they just kind of slough it off.
They want to stick their head in the sand with their ass in the air and hope that it will all go away, and it's not going to.
That's right. It's only going to get worse. I appreciate your call. And by the way, thank you for all your input on my program. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear.
All right. God bless. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
I'll tell you what, I listened to the Democrats at their debates, and I tried to keep as much of a written copy of what they were standing for and were espousing. These people scare me to death. They do. I mean, they'll stand there and they'll criticize Trump's economy, and everybody seems to be doing very well right now. They'll stand there and criticize every single I that's dotted and T that's crossed with the Trump administration. But what can they offer? What can they offer? Answer? Take your thumb and your forefinger, put it together, and make a great big goose egg. Nothing. There's not one of these people I trust. I mean, you start with Kamala Harris, and you go to Bernie Sanders, and you go to wacky Elizabeth Warren, and the list goes on and on. Joe Biden's not a candidate. Joe Biden is nothing more than a figurehead of the past. What can they offer? Nothing. But they certainly can take things away. Time for the weather, and the weather brought to you by our friends at Scarrows Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. Don Scarrow and the crew. Number to call, 324-7657, or you can go to their website, scarrowsmeats.com. Oh, the delicious meats for all your family gatherings, company picnics, whatever. Oh, it's great. All the bacons and the sausage and the bratwurst and the tri-tips and the marinated pork ribs. Oh, am I hungry? You will be too. Scarrows Meats in Jerome. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Cooler temperatures for today and a little bit breezy, but we will be warming up again as we make our way towards the weekend. Here's a look at your weather forecast. We are expecting partly to mostly sunny skies with a high right around 77. Winds are picking up out of the west. Right around 20 miles an hour, gusts as high as 30 miles an hour tonight. Everything is going to calm down. Clear skies with a low of 49. Tomorrow, sunny skies, about 82 with an overnight low of 54. Warming up to 90 for Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, looks like sunny skies and low 80s. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zebby Durant.
Appreciate it, Gina. Thank you. And brought to you by Don Scarrow and his crew at Scarrows Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. Number to call, 324-7657. Here's the great part. Yep, they're changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time at Scarrows Meats. You know, today being lunch bunch, I am going to gallop down the road a little bit early, and Wheels, always such a dependable young man, is going to kind of cover for me a little bit, and we're going to go to lunch bunch at 11:30, and we'll see you there. I want to urge you to stop into our major sponsor, any one of the 7 locations of your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Oh, my goodness sakes, the best of tires for your cars, pickups, SUVs, horse trailers, boat trailers, camp trailers, whatever you need tires for. They've got all the tread designs, all the sizes, everything, and the knowledge. All of them have graduated from the School of Tireology. They know and they can help you. Absolutely. And, of course, the best in brake service and front-end alignments and shocks and struts and batteries. But above all, It's service. It's the way they treat people. That's why they are so good. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Trent on Overland in Burley. True. Nobody better. The best. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. I am going to hit the byways. Wheels, you are going to be there at lunch with your mom. Is that correct?
Yeah, I am, and so we'll meet you over there.
Well, we will look forward to it, and drive carefully. And everybody, I want to say thank you very much for listening this week. We'll be back here next week at 8:06 Monday morning. And, of course, we always say the way things were are the way things ought to be, and the world needs more cowboys. But above all, in God we trust. God bless you. See you Monday.